Has anybody here heard of an illness called quinsy? No, I know. It's strange. A quinsy was something that happened at the turn of the century. It's an old illness. And usually when I talk to groups like yourselves, nobody's heard of this. Here's what happened. I have a daughter, Erin. Beautiful girl. She really is. She's gorgeous. She takes after her dad, but she has hair. Thank you very much. So anyways, she's always had strep throat, tonsillitis. So I take her to the Mediclinic. My doctor takes one look and says, she's got a quinsy. Get her into the emergency now. Into emergency we go. Well, a quinsy is the lining of the tonsils gets infected and starts to swell over the throat. You can't breathe and you die. People used to die of this at the turn of the century. That's what a quinsy is. So the doctor, zip-a-zap-a-doop, as my Ukrainian mother says, the tonsils came out and everything's дуже groovy. So Erin's on the way out of the hospital, and she says to me, here, Dad, my hospital bracelet. I'm free. Let's get out of here. Well, instead of throwing this in the garbage, and this is her actual hospital bracelet, I kept it. I don't know. I took a look at it. Her name, her birth date, her hospitalization number, and her doctor's name. Here's what's happening back home, and I know it's happening here because it's happening everywhere. You've heard of a drug called crystal meth. In the past, the crooks would break into your house, they steal your stereo, they'd steal your TV, your jewelry, they'd pawn it off, they get next to nothing for it, they buy their drugs. They don't do that anymore. Now they go through your garbage and they look for you, and they get credit cards, they get driver's license in your name, and they rack these things up and they buy their drugs when they sell them. Do not throw anything in the garbage. Shred it. Always, always shred it. Go buy a shredder for $30, cheap as borscht. And it's a good insurance policy. Don't throw anything in the garbage. So back to this thing here, briefly. This won't take very long. A guy who was hooked on crystal meth went into one of our hospitals. After 2 o'clock, visiting hours, or 1 o'clock, went room to room. Hey, you can see it's got stripes. It's very easy to recognize. He's in the garbage. There's one. Into his pocket. Off he goes. That afternoon, he memorized the information from the hospitalization bracelet, hospital bracelet. That night at 5 to 10, he walked into a Mediclinic. Our Mediclinics close at 10 at night. He walked in complaining of an earache. Put on a performance like you wouldn't believe. Tears and wailing. My ear. I need help. I need to see a doctor. The secretary receptionist said, no problem. You'll get in. He gets a prescription for eardrops. Took the prescription home. Traced the doctor's signature onto a piece of paper, put that aside. Got a bottle of whiteout and whited everything the doctor had written on the eardrops, including his signature. Name, hospitalization number, everything. Took that blank prescription form to the library, photocopied it 10 times. Brought it home, cut it out to the right size. Now he had 10 blank prescription forms. And he wrote in there the person's name from the bracelet, date of birth, put in an address, hospitalization number, traced the doctor's signature on all 10, and wrote in the middle, Ritalin. Times 50. And he hit 10 pharmacies in 2 days and got 500 Ritalin tablets. Ritalin sells on the street for $25 a tablet. He had enough money to buy crystal meth for a week. And a week later, this person on the card, bracelet, got a call from the health department saying, why do you have 500 Ritalin tablets? Didn't know anything about it. It's identity theft. Be so careful. Your name is everywhere. You think about it. You get your oil changed. They ask you for your name, your address. You go to the library. They have that information. Every doctor's office. Your name is out there, but be careful who has it. Never give your social insurance card, your number. You don't need to. The only people that need to have it are the banks and the government. Anybody that does anything with income tax needs it. Nobody else does. If you walk into a store and they say, we need some identification, what's your social insurance number? You say to them, you don't need it. They don't need it. Don't give it to them. All right? Be very, very careful. In closing, I wanted to mention something. I wrote a book. This is my pitch. I wrote a book called Stop Fraud. I'm sitting at my desk and I'm wondering, I'm seeing the same 12 frauds come across my desk year after year, month after month. Why doesn't somebody write a book? So I did. You can get this book at any bookstore. It's got 12 chapters. Each chapter deals with a different scam. At the end, there's tips to keep you safe, how to recognize a scam. It's at Chapters, it's at Indigo, it's everywhere. And if it's not, they can order one in. It's a good book, really it is. It's really down to earth. Please buy a copy. My pension, I'm on a little pension. I need your help. Thanks very much, everybody, for coming. I appreciate your time. If you have questions, give me a call.